The Legend of Aang has leaked online.
An Avatar movie arriving before its time.
Leaked before release with the voices recast.
At this rate, maybe Avatar belongs in the past. Oh, yeah, this did not end well, and it turned out those leaks were real.
So, let's give context. Somebody claimed that Nickelodeon had accidentally sent them the entire Legend of Aang Avatar movie, and they released 2 clips of it. And many people were debating whether or not it was actually real or whether it was fake. It looked really real, but the reason people were...
it looked real, but the animation was still terrible.
What had people doubting the most was the voices. However, those of you who have watched Gothic Therapy or paid attention will know that we've covered in the past that they have already mentioned that they will be recasting all the voices of the original cast to better have them fit the diversity of the characters.
And this clip, and these 2 clips proved just that because they sounded nothing like themselves.
And if that wasn't proof enough, the fact is, they got removed. The media was disabled. They were a copyright claim.
Yep. As you can see right here on the screen.
Yeah, and of course, people were mad because... So, I'll be honest with you guys. We can't show you the clips. We have seen both of them, and...
They're bad.
The animation looks pretty good for what it is.
I don't agree.
No,
the animation looked terrible to me.
I think it looked better than what we got originally. You have to remember Avatar: The Last Airbender was done a while back, so it's different changes in style. And plus, we don't know if we got to see the finished version.
Even so, there was a hint in the first clip. There was a hint that they made Zuko gay.
Yes, he mentions that. So this is before we continue. This is possible spoilers for Avatar: The Legend of Aang. So for those of you who do not want to hear this, this is your warning now. Honey, would you like to do our customary warning countdown for spoilers?
Spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1, beep.
So we got 2 clips. One of them was them all... It looks like the premise of this film
is another airbender is discovered in an iceberg, one much older than Aang, as he says, because the tattoos are completely different. And Toph, who obviously is blind, asks if the guy is attractive. And everyone else is saying, why is that relevant? That doesn't matter. And Zuko says, yes, he's attractive. What? You can tell from the bone structure.
Yes, and so that made people on Twitter very angry, but also very happy. Why? On the one hand, they were bad because how dare you make Toph straight?
And on the other hand, yay, you made Zuko gay, even though he is canonically straight.
Isn't it great how our priorities are?
No.
It's not, does this look good? It's, oh, he's gay!
I mean, it's a hint that they're implying. At least that's how I interpreted it.
I don't know. I think it was weird, but people on Twitter took it and ran with it. And the second clip was even weirder because the second clip showed them in the spirit world, but it was out of alignment because of this airbender. And it made Aang
and Sokka look like they did in the original show, animation-wise. It turned Katara and Zuko old as they look in Legend of Korra, and it turned Toph to a baby.
And apparently it's because whatever, and we got some cringe lines about I am the Avatar, and there's creatures and whatever. And I'm going to be completely blunt with you guys. The fact that this is being leaked, which is already a red flag, and the fact that they changed all the voice actors, which, by the way, I want to mention clearly, the person who cast them purposely casted them with the idea that we want new voice actors who fit the ethnicity or diversity of the characters. That's what they did. Now we're getting this, and they're not releasing it in theaters, guys. They are releasing it on streaming platforms only.
So, not straight to theaters? It's like those straight to DVDs, except now it's straight to streaming? Yeah, you know it's going to be bad.
I'm just going to say this, okay? I loved the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm sure I'm not alone. I think you can agree with me, honey, right?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Yes, but I think that this did not need to be made. And if you were going to make it, whether you decided it was diverse enough, it doesn't matter. You just make it with all the original voice actors are around. I think the only one they would have had to recast was Aang, because the person who played his voice doesn't actually do voice acting anymore. So, in other words, congratulations. First off, not only did this leak, which shows how terrible your security is, but you've upset actual Avatar fans. You upset the incessant weirdo shippers. So, who's going to watch this movie exactly?
Literally no one.
So you've upset the people who were like, Toph is not straight.
Oh, and more spoilers. The credits, an image of the credits popped up, and there is the Cabbage Merchant. Cabbage Merchant does return, but there is no mention of Suki. Again.
They just forgot about Suki. They didn't care. There is no Suki in Avatar.
There's never Suki after the original series. Everyone, even in the sequel comics, everyone forgets that she existed. What happened with Suki?
There is no Suki in The Legend of Aang.
I want Suki.
Ain't happening. You get the Cabbage Merchant, but here's the funny part, okay? They brought back James Say to play him in live action, but they did not bring him back for the other thing. They didn't bring it back. So they didn't even bring back the Cabbage Merchant. They have him referenced there, but they got Ken Jeong to say my cabbages. Now, who is this? Ken Jeong is the American actor, comedian, physician, and producer, and he is known for his role as Ben Chang in the NBC sitcom Community and Leslie Chow in the Hangover trilogy.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not.
That's the Cabbage Merchant in this new thing.
Yep. He's not a bad guy. I just think that, there was no reason to recast. They just recast all the characters. Why? Do you really think that anybody wants to hear the iconic "My Cabbages" line from someone who isn't the Cabbage Merchant in the original?
No.
And then let's go a step further. Let's bring him back as the Cabbage Merchant for the live action, which isn't that good, in my opinion. But let's bring him back for that and not this. Why?
I don't know.
I have no words. This is trash.
This is gonna be terrible, and that makes me hope that Nickelodeon loses money.
He's the guy, guys, in case you don't know, he's the guy who goes, huh, gay.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. He's gonna be going, huh, my cabbages. Either just release it and get it over with, or never release it and just can it. We're done.
Please,
I don't have a problem with the guy voicing it, but come on. I don't have a problem with the people voicing the characters. I don't care. What I care about is they did this on purpose, and the reason they specifically mention is because of the focus on ethnicity and diversity and all that garbage. If you want to change the voice actors, change the voice actors. I think that was a bad idea, but you can do it. But if you're going to do it...
Yeah, don't do it for ethnicity and diversity's sake, because it's not live action. They're not going to be seen on screen. It's literally just their voices. The whole point of voice acting is that you can make your voice sound like what it needs to sound like. Come on.
No, but it's okay. We're going to recast everybody, and we're going to announce to you that the reason is diversity. And if you don't like the movie, you're a bigot.
I don't like the movie.
It's already dead, honey.
Of course it is. Just like Suki, apparently.
Just like they defrosted another airbender from the freezer, this should be put on ice forever.
Please.
Share with your crew. Escape life's hell. From spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure.